Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you've all been well. Today I'm going to show you how to make these really quick and easy jerk chicken quesadillas. I'm just checking now on my channel, and the last time I made quesadillas was literally 2 years ago in 2021. I actually can't believe how quick time is going at the moment, but this is the second video of quesadillas on my channel. So to get straight into the recipe, to some chicken thighs, I added in some Caribbean adobo spice rub. I then followed it by adding in some allspice, which is pimento. And then to get that really hot and spicy jerk flavour, I added in this Jamaican jerk seasoning. And then just to finish off all the seasonings on the chicken, I added in some Himalayan salt. Make sure to give that a good mix and set it aside. You can either allow this to marinate overnight, but I tend to only let like chicken wings or chicken drumsticks marinate overnight. When it comes to like chicken pieces like this, I just cook them straight away. So when it comes to cooking chicken, especially chicken thigh, there's only really one way that I do cook it. As chicken thigh is fatty, it does take kind of longer to cook than chicken breast. But one good tip that I can give you is add some oil to a non-stick pan. Follow it by adding in the chicken. You also need to make sure that the heat is high because you want a really nice colour on the chicken as well. And then for a good minute, I literally let the chicken sit on one side and then I repeat that on the other side. And then once you've kind of like seared both sides of the chicken, I literally just add on the lid and continue cooking for around 8 to 10 minutes. I literally don't have any pans with like matching lids, so I just had to do with what I can do at the moment. So when you're covering the chicken, what I like to do is turn the heat to low for like the first 5 minutes, and then after the 5 minutes I'll just check on the chicken and see how it is. I have to admit though, when I did first start cooking, I was really scared to cook with chicken thighs because basically how thick the pieces were, and I never knew how long it was going to take or if the chicken was ever going to cook properly, and even the temperatures to cook it on. So if you are someone who does want to cook with chicken thighs for a change, then I definitely recommend that you actually cut the pieces into smaller pieces, just how I have done now. So literally after around 5 minutes of the chicken being on a low heat, I took the lid off and I literally just cut the pieces in half. I definitely would say that is a very important tip though. Like if you are someone who not like is scared of cooking chicken, but you don't really like cooking chicken, then start cooking the chicken in smaller pieces, and slowly, you start cooking with bigger pieces without even realising it. So now after the chicken was cut into smaller pieces, I added the lid and continued cooking until the end of the time. And now the heat is on a medium to low. I personally prefer to just turn the heat to high at this moment, just so the water can kind of like soak up into the chicken. But if you do want to remove it from here, then that's entirely up to you. And then once the chicken was cooked, I removed it from the pan and I just started slicing it in these size pieces. This type of chicken can be used for literally anything. I make these chicken thighs all the time, and sometimes I serve it with rice, sometimes I'll even have it with my like ramen noodles, or sometimes I'll just have it on its own with like a nice salad. So there's a lot of like different ways that the chicken can be served with. And then now for the next part, in the same pan, which I literally just cooked the chicken in, I added in a little bit more oil and I followed it by adding in the onions and peppers, and I cooked them down on a low to medium heat, and I also did add on a lid just so they can go soft, and I cooked that until it was how I preferred it to be. I also forgot to mention at the start of the video that the potato wedges that you're seeing are actually homemade ones, but this is how I cut the potato wedges to be the shape of the wedges basically. And then once all the potatoes are cut, I literally just washed them in some water, and I only seasoned them with Cajun seasoning and a little bit of salt. And I also followed it by adding in a little bit of oil as well. I also added these wedges to the air fryer and I cooked them for 20 minutes on the roasting setting on 180 degrees Celsius. So now the last and final part is to simply assemble your quesadillas. I literally just used what I had at home. So I started off with some mayo. I also used some Tabasco sauce. I then followed it by adding in the chicken. For the cheese, I used cheddar cheese, which I grated. I'm just thinking of it now. I normally add in roasted peppers, which come in a jar, and I literally just add them to a little bit of oil in a pan and I just roast them for a couple minutes. So that's something that you can definitely add in your quesadilla as well. I finished it off by adding in some jalapenos, and then I folded the wrap over and just added some butter. You can actually toast these on the same pan that you cook the chicken on, but I'm gonna toast them on a tawa, which my mum makes her rotis on. Just for another tip when it comes to filling in your quesadillas, I definitely recommend they add in more cheese so that like it can kind of stick together, and it is a lot more easier to fold over like how I did here, because it was a struggle turning them over and I realised I didn't add enough cheese this time. But yeah, I always make sure that the heat is low to medium, as If it's too high, they'll burn and you have to make a new wrap. I literally learned the hard way when I started making them. But I just toast them until they go to this really nice golden brown colour, and they are literally just perfect. After you cut these up in the middle, this is how they turned out. This is also how the wedges look after they've been cooking for 20 minutes. Also make sure when you are cooking the wedges that you do check them like every 5 minutes and make sure you're mixing them. You have to make sure that you garnish with coriander, and you also have to make sure that you serve this with lemon, because honestly lemon and quesadillas are so good. Like literally the one way that I eat them is with every single bite I just squeeze so much lemon on it, and it makes a dish like so perfect. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. The recipe will be in the captions, so make sure to check it out, and I'll see you in my next one.